Okay, first off, Doc, I'm going to start with you.
Sure.
You've seen, Ruckert from start to this point. We talked to you up in Albany area. What's it like to be able to come down here right now? I know Ruckert's just early in training, but to see him actually in this environment.
It's amazing. Chris Ruckert sat with me in my office a little over a year ago, and his plea to me was to walk with him through this journey to become a Marine. And he promised me that he would not give up with my program, and he did not give up.
Ruckert, you're real early in training. What can you tell us so far? Is it what you expected?
It's there's a bit of culture shock, to be completely honest. I actually have no voice right now due to culture shock. But your life makes a complete 180-degree turn, and a lot of the things that you're used to are taken away, and you're taught to be part of a unit. And I suppose in a way that is exactly what I was expecting.
Ruckert, let me ask you another question. I know you had some expectations about what Parris Island was going to be. We all know how much you wanted to get here. From what you've seen, do you think you prepared yourself for at least these next 3 months?
In all honesty, I don't think there's any way for an individual to truly prepare themselves for coming down to Parris Island. But I honestly do believe this recruit believes that he did the best that he could.
Dr. Greber, what do you think about the part you played in this now? To see, could you go over a little bit now that we're here? Some of the stats. What did Ruckert start out at, and what was the weigh-in basically the last time you saw him before he came down to Parris Island?
Ruckert started with my office at 399.8 pounds. Within 11.5 months, he dropped 193.8 pounds. He left my office right at 207 and shipped off to down to Parris Island.
I know this just being a Marine. Ruckert, you're probably going to drop some more weight down here. And I'm sure they've had you running in circles so far. Tell us a little bit, though, about that experience so far. What's your day-to-day like? Just this first week you were in receiving. Not doing a whole lot other than administrative stuff, but now you're only a few days in. But what is that day-to-day regimen like for you down here?
It's exactly what my recruiter told me to expect. Speed and intensity and volume, a lot of volume. Recruits are constantly being, told to be louder, We're training our voices so that we have more of a commanding presence. A lot of physical activity. We wake up before the sun is even up. We're taught to make sure that everything that we own is squared away and accessible. We're taught to keep ourselves clean, to keep ourselves healthy, both in hygiene and the way that we eat. We're also forming our bodies into those of United States Marines. We're constantly being pushed physically through physical training out on the field and in the squad base, and through marching, through drill, learning to move as one cohesive unit.
Beyond the obvious of graduation, earning that Eagle Globe and Anchor, what are your goals down here? What do you expect to take away from the experience here at Parris Island?
I hope to take away a sense of discipline, and I'd like to work my way up into a position of leadership in my platoon, either a squad leader or possibly even a guide. But from what I've witnessed, especially during the first few weeks, it's very hard for an individual to maintain that position. Perfection is expected at every turn, because as Marines we expect nothing more than perfection. Or if I may correct myself, as recruits we're expected to have nothing but perfection.
Let me ask you a little bit about that as well. Now, being down here and as a recruit and that desire to earn the Eagle Globe and Anchor and become a Marine, I remember what it was like. You're in first phase. You see guys running around. They have their boots bloused. A lot of people don't understand that. That's something you guys recognize right away. What is that when there is that little bit of downtime? Okay, your day's over and it's just Chris Ruckert in his own head laying in the rack here at Parris Island. Tell me a little bit about that experience and what thoughts are going through your head as you move forward through training.
I think a lot of home. I mean, anybody who's been not taken away, but anybody who's left their home for the first time and knows that it's going to be a long haul. We recruits are here for 3 months minimum. It's a shock, and you think about your home and your family and your loved ones a lot. But then you put those thoughts out of your mind and you start thinking about, what did I do wrong today? And how can I take those flaws and correct them? And you think about how you can take what you did and apply it tomorrow. And not just apply it, but make it better.
Doc Gerber, you've known Ruckert for a long time. You've been working with him for a long time now. The man that walked into your office and the man that's now recruit
The boy that walked
Ruckert
into my office,
down here.
and now the man.
So what difference do you see just already from the short time that he's been here?
He's just formed more into where he wants to become as a Marine. And when he does graduate, he's going to do us all proud back home.
What are your hopes? What is the biggest hope that you have for Ruckert?
To do what he wants to do. That's all. I want him to put his mind to whatever he needs to do, and he will accomplish it, no matter what. He's already accomplished greatness in my office. He will accomplish what he needs to accomplish here.
Erica, do you have any questions for the Saratoga?
Yeah, so, coming out on the plane and stuff and meeting all the guys that you're going through with, how have you bonded with them? Did anyone have like the same experience, or, anyone that you really grasped onto?
No other recruit seems to have had the same experience I have. Some have lost 15, 20 pounds. Some have had to gain 15, 20 pounds. But all of us are united in a common purpose. We're here to graduate. We're here to prove that we have what it takes to become one of the few, one of the proud, a Marine. That's why we all came here. That's why we left our lives behind, to let these drill instructors form us and mold us into the people we need to be, not that we want to be, because what we want doesn't matter anymore. We're part of something bigger. We're part of something bigger than ourselves.
And finally, coming from New York, the temperature. Did you bring it with you? Just kidding. You don't have to answer that.
One more question.
I don't. You have some questions, Blair? Go ahead.
Hi, Chris. Could you please tell me how Dr. Gerber has influenced the course of your life? And additionally to that, if you were to speak to other men of your age looking to come into the Marines that might be contending with the challenge of a weight as being an issue for them getting into the Marines, what would you say to them? How has Dr. Gerber changed that course of your life?
Dr. Gerber instilled in me a sense of confidence that I didn't know I could accomplish before now. Simply through seeing the results through the program. I never would have thought that I'd be able to make it as far as I did. And there's no feeling better than standing here with all of you and knowing that this recruit is training to become a Marine. If you had asked this recruit a year and a half ago if he would be here, he probably would have laughed at you and not believed you. But I'm standing here right now because Dr. Gerber gave this recruit the confidence and the self-determination that he needed to push forward and make it down here to Parris Island, South Carolina.